Hey everyone, and welcome, my mystic friends. As we move through the middle of July, you are going to now be invited to look inward. On July 13th, we're going to have Saturn. It's going to begin its retrograde motion, traveling back through the sign of Aries and into the watery sign of Pisces. Now, the collective energy forecast, it's going to give you this insight into this week's planetary transits and how they're going to be affecting everyone. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate. I specialize in traditional Western and evolutionary astrology. If you are new here, you can find more about my offerings at willowgracemystic.com. I'm excited to share this transit forecast with you. So thank you for liking and subscribing and for sharing your journey with me. So as we move through July, we are now going to be stopping and pausing and doing a lot of inward reflection work. It's going to be quiet wisdom. It's going to be the sacred pause because we have Saturn right here in the sign of Aries, and Saturn is going to station retrograde first at 1 degree of Aries. Saturn is working really well with the planet of Pluto and with Uranus, both at the triangular point of pointing that Saturn is where everything is going to be directed inward. This is the beginning of this powerful backward journey that soon will lead us back into Pisces, that's watery, intuitive. It's going back to finish unfinished business before it can dip back into Aries. So this movement, it's symbolic and it's soul stirring. It mirrors our own need, our desires to go back and finish things before we can truly move forward with our Aries energy, the push, the drive, the impulse. It wants us to revisit what was unfinished, to reflect on how far we have truly come, and to refine what we are building next. Saturn has these amazing rings around it. I always say it's the fence around the yard. It's boundaries, it's limitations, it's about karma, and it's the teacher. It represents over time. And so these boundaries, it's Saturn being known as the great teacher. It's more than this celestial body. It's spiritually, Saturn, it's the keeper of our karma, the architect of discipline. It's about mentorship and maturity. Saturn governs our time, our boundaries, our responsibilities, and sometimes that it's uncomfortable but necessary in order to process our soul's growth. Saturn asks us to be present and to own what we are processing, what we are doing, where we are growing. So when Saturn stations retrograde, the lessons, they don't disappear, they deepen. They ask us to go within and take a look at what has been processing, what has been growing, what has been evolving. The external tests, they soften. So instead, we're called to self-examine. Remember, retrogrades are reflect, refine, revise, review. And so this month, we're going to have Saturn, Neptune, and Mercury all stationing retrograde. The planets have been moving forward. We accumulate all this new information. We understand where we want to grow. And when the planets station retrograde, it says, let's stop, pause, and review so we can integrate this new knowledge, this new information, this new growth. And so self-examine first with Aries, and then it's going to bump back into Pisces of how does this not only affect me, but also where I am with the collective. And so the external tests, it's looking inward, saying, Aries energy, I have to get real, not just with myself, but with my commitments, with spiritual integrity. This retrograde beginning in the sign of Aries is the sign of bold beginnings. It's fierce independence. It's courageous self-expression, Aries energy. Saturn here, it begins by questioning your initiation. What are you going after? What do you want to start? What do you want to begin? That begins with you. What have you started recently? Are there new commitments that you have? Are these aligned with who you're truly becoming? Are you acting from impulse, because Aries can do that, or from soul intention, because going back into the sign of Pisces is going to question your motives? So it's looking at, where are you moving forward, and how do you show up in the world that you can lead, not from ego, but from growth and maturity? Saturn wants you to evolve. Now soon, when Saturn moves back into the sign of Pisces, this is watery, it's intuitive, the boundary blurring sign of that closes or ends out the zodiacal wheel. And with the Saturn returning back here also comes a time to return and to unfinished business, spiritual business, where you thought you had completed everything. The last degree of Pisces carries these collective themes. So we know it's not just you, it's where are you with grief, with healing, with surrender, with compassion, and with forgiveness. Because in Pisces, your Saturn lessons, they're less tangible. They're more magical and mystical. The structure, remember the rings around it, the boundaries, they're being tested or redefined now. They're often invisible. This is about emotional resilience and spiritual discipline. There can be these energetic boundaries and belief systems that you're going to go back and reflect upon. This is going to be a great time for you to examine your own personal code, your private compass. As Saturn is going to have you retrace these degrees, you are being asked to look at your spiritual contracts that you've made with others, with yourself, with the universe. What still needs healing? And then also, what needs to be released? This retrograde is going to be from July 13th all the way through November 28th. Remember, Saturn moves slowly. This is not about pushing forth with quick, fast-paced growth. Saturn says, no, slow down. We're going to integrate it. You're going to learn it, and you're going to integrate it so you don't have to repeat this. This is a powerful stretch of time for spiritual restructuring. You might feel a call to revisit your practices or your meditation or your own energetic hygiene, your boundaries around rest and service, whether you're exuding your energy and where it is shown back to you, looking at where do you give too much. Saturn, it teaches about true compassion, and it needs to have structure. It needs to have the rings around it. This is not about saying yes to everything, but knowing truly what supports your soul's purpose. I wanted to share what this shift meant for your relationships, your intuition, and your sense of self-direction. Because this isn't just about you or me. This is about us. Saturn retrograde into Aries and then moving into Pisces is about a collective shift. We are all being asked to identify, to tune in, to look at where are our communities, our groups, and our networks, and are we aligned with people and purposes that feel true and authentic? Or are we clinging to these ideals that no longer reflect our deeper truth? Pisces, it governs the collective dreams. And Saturn, when it retrogrades back here, Saturn is going to ask us to just wake up, to take responsibility for things that shape your dreams, that with care and consciousness. This is going to be a time to clean up karma, to lovingly reassess your energetic contacts, and to be more intentional about the future that you are helping to shape and to build. This is not going to be a time to lead with force, but to move forward with faith, not with perfection, but with your presence. Let Saturn's rings, let them be your reminder that what you're building in this life, emotionally, spiritually, communally, that it takes time and it takes structure and sacred commitment. And then as it moves back into the sign of Aries, it sparks into the Pisces soul. You are being offered this chance to realign with a deeper rhythm that lives beneath the surface of all things, so that you can move forward with clarity and confidence. So at this time, be gentle with yourself, be honest, and be willing to do the quiet work of integration or reintegration, realignment. You are not alone on this path. We are all working together. We are gathering wisdom. We are shedding illusion and slowly becoming who we're meant to be. So a mantra for this transit can be, I honor the path that I have chosen and the lessons that I am here to learn. With courage, I'm going to revisit my past with grace, and I'm going to realign my soul. And I trust the timing, the healing, and the unfolding of my sacred work. So offerings this month: for private consultation, visit willowgracemystic.com. For working with the moon, check out my moon manifestation guide using the link below. You can sign up for my newsletter to find out about early specials and early releases and all things happening using the link below. And I'd love for you to come over and join me on Patreon. This is a community with like-minded individuals where we learn, we share, we grow, and that link is also down below. I'm having a special for all Cancerians out there for your solar return. Use the code CANCER10 at checkout, and I offer live astrology consultations right here, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every other Tuesday. You can use the link below to get in the queue. Be sure to include your exact date, time, and location of your birth. So don't miss tomorrow's video where I'm going to be breaking it down for all 12 rising signs. I want to thank all of you so much for being here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. For more insights, visit willowgracemystic.com.